Hello everybody, Ryan here, or MandRproductions, and welcome to my comparison of the LEGO Star Wars Yoda sets. We have two separate Yoda sets from two very different eras of LEGO Star Wars, and I think that's pretty apparent when you look at them. I mean, they have two totally different concepts for the building. The version on the left is set number 7194 from 2002. The version on the right is set number 75255 from 2019. This one is technically based off the original trilogy, and this one, at least going along with its box art, is based off of Episode 3, so they're slightly based off different eras of Star Wars as well, which is kind of interesting. This will stick with my typical LEGO Star Wars comparison video style. We're going to have 5 different categories, all culminating in a final score to determine which LEGO Star Wars set is the best. In this case, which LEGO Star Wars Yoda is the best. Let's get started with the minifigure category. 2002 Yoda does not include any minifigures, whilst the 2019 Yoda does include a minifigure. We get a very cute looking minifigure scale Yoda with a very nice, very green lightsaber, especially when you compare it to the green color of his rubber head. So very nice to get a Yoda figure. And also additionally to the minifigure, you have like a stand to hold the minifigure, as well as a UCS style plaque for Yoda. You can pause and read if you want, but that is a nice addition to the set as well that we'll throw in the minifig category. So I think it's pretty obvious that the minifig category has to go to the new 2019 set because it does include a minifig and the other one doesn't. I don't know if you can spin that argument for me, that a set not including a minifigure is better than one that does. As for our playability category, both Yodas have posable heads. The 2002 Yoda can spin his head. It is slightly restrained by his necklace, but he can spin his head quite well, at least within a certain range of motion. He has no other real playability features that you could really say are playability features. I mean, you can pick him up and swoosh him around, I guess. You can play with him like a doll, but the same can be said for the other Yoda. The head can move left and right. It is also somewhat constrained by the pieces around him, but it does have much more posability. You can see it has a little bit more wobble to it, which is nice. You can move his head forward and back a little bit too. That's pretty dope. The best part about the new Yoda playability wise is what you can do with his eyes. You can see he looks a little bit angry now, and then if you switch his eyelids, you can make him look sad. So that is one discerning feature from the original Yoda, whose eyes can move, but it's just not the same, and I think that's pretty obvious that the new Yoda is going to take the crown on the eye movement. I mean, I don't know about you, but I think the facial expressions of the new Yoda far outweigh the ones on the old one. So we'll just get that back to a somewhat normal look so you're not crying the whole video. You can kind of play with his lightsaber, I suppose, and the feet have slight movement to them. You can see they can kind of move, but other than that, no real playability with this Yoda that the other one doesn't have. So as far as playability, it's slightly got to go in favor of the 2019 model as well. Both heads move, but this one does have the eye movement, and technically you can play with the minifigure, so that's a little bit of added value there as well.
Usually this is not part of my comparison videos, but I thought it would be interesting to take a look at both boxes, and I'm not going to use this as part of the scoring either, but the original Yoda box is a really messy presentation. You can see Yoda's kind of fading into the picture. There's a lot of very offset colors, like we have red, blue, black, gold, and then of course Yoda, of course, being green and tan and brown, and so many different clashing colors that is just so ugly to me about this box art. And of course the like transparent lettering of Yoda just doesn't look that great. You have some pictures of real Yoda, which is kind of nice to see the real thing versus the actual thing. And then the other side of the box, interestingly enough, is like a second box art. It's not even like a back side of the box like we get now. You kind of see just more of Yoda in the forest or on Dagobah, and then these weird numbered things that I really don't understand at all. By comparison, the new sets box is incredibly cleaner. We have a lot less color clashing. The box art is so much more uniform to me, with the white greeble bricks or plates, and just everything looks so much better with the new box art. So I thought comparing the box arts would be interesting, and I think they have really improved on their box art in the last 17 years, and I think that's pretty obvious.
The design category may be a little bit more subjective than the last two categories, and that's really going to come down to what you prefer. Do you prefer the brick-built look of the 2002 model, or do you prefer the studs on the outside, weirdly built look? I don't want to say it's weird because I don't think it looks weird, just the different building style that the 2019 version brings to the table. And I think you could make an argument for either or, but I think as far as design is concerned, You get the white hair on the new one. You do not see that on the old one at all. I just feel like the robes have a much better flow on the new one as well, a lot less blocky. You can see, obviously, this one made just straight up out of bricks doesn't really help it a lot versus this one, which uses a lot of plates. So I think that's a huge difference in the sets as well. The hands are much more nicely designed on the new one versus the old one, where they're just kind of crossed over the cane, just using bricks again. Again, all that eye design that we talked about, where you can have the facial expressions, is really good. The ears, also major difference on the sets. I really love the tiled off look that they used for his head. So I think the design category definitely has to go to the new one, although I think this is the one that has the most leverage for you personally, where you could be like, oh yeah, but I just seem to prefer the older one. And that's where I'm like, okay, yeah, I can understand that. I mean, even going down to the feet there, you don't really have feet on the old Yoda. You just have slope pieces that jut out. This one actually has feet. So as far as like the actual build design, the new one uses a very interesting technique where it kind of has this Technic substructure. The old one is just literally built out of bricks. So you kind of see the difference there as well. You're going to get a much stronger design on the new one as far as like it not breaking and falling apart in your hands. Not that the old one typically does that, but it's definitely more prone to doing so than the new one because it is an older design using just bricks and no Technic. So design category for me is going to go to the 2019 version, and that's going to put it up 3-0 right now in our contest. It's looking at a clean sweep. For the value category, you're going to need to know a bit about both sets. The 2002 version, when released, cost $100 with 1,078 pieces. However, adjusted for inflation, that $100 is now about $143. So that one gets a bit pricey. The new version released in 2019 costs $100, which is still the same in 2019, obviously, and includes 1,771 pieces. So that is just shy of a 700-piece increase between the two sets. So the 2019 version has many more pieces, although you can obviously tell that these pieces are going to be smaller on average, I would say. Obviously, these being many more bricks and this being many more plates would be the reason for the increase in piece count. But more so, the price, $143 versus $100 just in today's money. I think the value there is going to be pretty obvious with the new one taking the crown, because it just, I mean, for the same price, if these were the same price, you could make the argument that this one is a better value. But for almost $50 more, I don't see there being much of an argument there. I think that the newer Yoda presents a way better value, and I think this is a prime example of when people tell you that Lego is getting more expensive, that it's really not. Like, it's still a good value for what it is, and it's a great product. And this is just one of those examples where they've taken a giant leap forward and done so much with this design for this set. And you look at the old one that's now essentially $143 in today's money and would probably retail for even more, and you just got to tell yourself, this one is the better value, because it is. I think it's hands down. I mean, they're pretty much the same size. The older one, definitely a little bit wider and slightly taller, but I think that's just the part of the way they designed the older one to be wide at the base, and the newer one needed to be a little bit shorter just to keep it balanced and everything. So I'm going to go with the newer version as for having the better value out of the two sets. I think that one is pretty obvious given the price difference in today's money. And that leaves us with our final category of M&R opinion, and this is a tough one for me because I really like both sets. I think both of these sets are very unique and interesting models in their own right. They both bring something different to the table. Obviously, one Yoda has the lightsaber, the other guy has the cane, which I think you can make an argument for which one you like better for sure. But for me personally, obviously the M&R opinion category is just completely subjective. No numbers, no nothing into it, no piece count, just purely what I look at and think is better. I really like the new 2019 set. As much as I like the original nostalgic look of the 2002 set, and hey, maybe if I had had this set for the last 5 years, this would be a different answer for me, but the 2019 model just brings so much to the table that the original version couldn't, especially with the facial expressions and the head movements, the new shaping, the new pieces, the new building techniques, just so much stronger and better in so many different ways. And of course, so many memes have come about because of this Yoda. So you guys let me know on the poll on screen right now which Yoda you think is better, but I think that the 2019 one is just better in every way. It's so many small improvements over the older one that it creates this pretty wide gap to me as to which one is better. So 2019 Yoda is going to get the check mark there, and that is going to leave us with a final score of 5-0, 2019 over 2002. That is a clean sweep for the newer Yoda, and you guys may disagree. Let me know in the comments section below what you think, but this video is just a comparison, so you can decide which one is better for yourself. If you disagree with me, that's okay. That's all I have for this video, guys. Thank you for watching this comparison of the LEGO Star Wars Yoda sets. I have plenty of other LEGO Star Wars comparison videos on my YouTube channel, so make sure you check those out. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in another video. Peace out.